Well, unknown to him, Jessica had already planned her move. That Sunday during the second service, just as the offertory session ended, she walked slowly towards the middle aisle, dressed in a simple flowing gown, trembling as she held a small piece of paper. The congregation fell silent as everyone turned to look at her. She stopped in front of the altar, raised her voice and said loudly enough for the microphones to catch it, "Pastor James, why are you lying to these people? You know I am carrying your child." The silence that followed was so thick that even the ceiling fan seemed to stop spinning. The entire church gasped as the camera lights flashed from different angles and people covered their mouths in shock. Some members stood trying to calm her, but she shook them off and kept shouting through tears, "You promised to stand by me, Pastor. Now you want to deny me before God and before this congregation. God will judge you. The blood in my womb will speak against you if you abandon me." Abigail sat frozen on the front row. Her whole body was shaking and her heart was pounding so loudly that she could barely breathe. The church hall erupted into chaos. Ushers rushed towards Jessica and phones were recording the entire saga. Pastor James stood there on the altar gripping the microphone tightly with his jaw clenched as he stared at her. And finally, with a voice as cold as stone, he said, "You are lying, Jessica. I do not know what spirit has possessed you, but you are not carrying my child." Jessica's tears turned into bitter laughter, the kind that carried more pain than sound. She shook her head slowly and spoke into the microphone before walking out. "Pastor James, you will regret this day. You don't know me. My father's gods will fight for me. The God you preach about cannot save you from what flows in my blood." And with that, she dropped the microphone and walked out of the church, leaving silence, shame, and fear behind her. That day, everything changed in Divine Grace Assembly. A cold chill ran through everyone present as if they were being dragged into a spiritual war. Far away in Noagakpo, deep inside a quiet forest where the air was thick with the smell of damp soil and burning incense, Erfo Aziza in a chair sat cross-legged before an old shrine with white chalk markings on his face. Around him were 7 clay pots filled with dark oil, feathers, and strange bones. Behind him, Jessica stood barefoot, dressed in a white cloth tied tightly around her chest. Her face was pale and her eyes were red from crying. She had returned to her father after the humiliation at Divine Grace Assembly and collapsed in his compound with tears streaming down her face as she narrated everything to him.